So it's rainy. People expect this of Seattle, right? I mean, I'm not in Seattle, but I'm close. In the area. In the Puget Sound area. So it was thundering this morning and raining, and it continues to rain. Kind of harder than it normally does here. Seattle rain is this sort of heavy mist that'll go for days. So this is actual rain. This is like spring rain. The old quip for Seattle and the Puget Sound is, it's not summer until the 5th of July. And it's often very true. So, but it's what makes this place so green, and it is just overwhelmingly green at the moment. I spent the week east of the mountains, on the dry side of the state, where on average they get about 7 inches of rain a year where I go. So it's really deserty over there. And it was 95. Yesterday was 98. So I rode the motorcycle, and jacket was on full vent, you know, and it was seriously hot. But here it's not even breaking 60, so we're at like 55 degrees Fahrenheit and rain. So it is what it is. The weather is what it is, right? But I'm glad I came back yesterday when it was nice and not today. That would have been misery. So I was going to smoke a cigar, actually. And I do have a few cigars tucked away, but they're old and they're all dried up, you know, and they're cheap to begin with. So I thought, well, I'll smoke some cigar leaf tobacco in the pipe. So I found a tin of GL Pease Key Largo, and it was just like kind of dried up, and there was just a little bit left. So that's what I'm smoking here. This is one of those Chacom King Size pipes. Really a big bowl. 2 1/4 inches high, approximately. Nice long smoke, but a stubby pipe. So I had wanted it to, I was going to go out and try mowing. No chance of that. So I wanted a pipe that would fit under my hat brim. And this is one of the shorter pipes that I have. So, and the Key Largo is pretty darn mellow, being as old as it is. So it's kind of perfect. I was just on the phone with a friend of mine, a young pipe smoker actually, which I'm glad to see there are some of those. He's from Wisconsin. I can't even do it. I would try. I'd get it wrong. Anyway, nice conversation with him. Yeah, they're still sunny over there. So. But hey, it keeps it green, so that's good. But you know, spending time over on the dry side with Doug, and then just talking with Ian, it reinforces for me that, you know, friends are everything, right? And your significant other can be your friend. I hope so. I think a lot of times, especially guys, kind of put all their eggs in one basket with their significant other, and that puts a lot of burden on that significant other, you know, to be everything, to be a domestic partner, to be a financial partner, to be a fellow parent oftentimes, to be your everything, you know, and that just isn't fair. You know, it's kind of a recipe for disaster, in fact, unless you really work at it. So, but you see that a lot. You know, people who had a lot of friends in college or high school, and then they get married, and suddenly those friendships just kind of vaporize, you know. And so they don't have really good, close friendships with anybody else. And that's a shame. And, you know, I think a pipe is a way of encouraging that, having something to do together. I think guys like to be able to do something together, even if it's as simple as smoking a pipe. You know, it might be working on a car, it might be working on a home improvement project, you know. On my way home yesterday, I stopped in Tacoma, and I saw my friend Dale, and we, you know, visited for an hour, and it was great. I mean, I love my friends. I love them. And so when I see married folks, sometimes women are better about that. They'll often have girlfriends that they keep contact with and continue to do things with. Men just aren't, I don't know, it's not as healthy somehow. So, whatever it is, what it is. But I would encourage people to maintain and develop those friendships. In the last couple of months, I've been doing some of these live stream videos with, like, Cane Rod Piper, Mike Marino, and Aristocob for the Mark Wood Men's Breakfast Club. So much fun. So much fun. If you didn't see those, you can, in YouTube, just do NW Pipe Smoker and Mark Wood Men's or Cane Rod Piper, you know. The side comments on the side during those are just so much fun. It is just great. And that is, even though it's all virtual and most of those people have never met in person, the sense of camaraderie is so strong that it's probably the next best thing to having relationships with people. Now, Facebook, I think, I'm not on Facebook, so it's kind of a detached view that I have of that. It has a little different feel to it. You know, it's like people put out what they're having for dinner and all the family stuff, but it's very, very filtered, very selective, and honestly, a lot of conversations can be like that too, right? But I don't know, that has a different feel to it. What Cane Rod Piper is doing, what Aristocob and his son Sean are doing with the Mark Wood Men's Breakfast Club, that's really special. I cannot tell you how much fun I had doing those. So, and then because I wasn't savvy enough, I wasn't set up to have a laptop in front of me so I could see the real-time feed. I could just turn the sound off so there wouldn't be feedback, right? And I should do that, because although it might be really distracting too, some of those comments are just so much fun. You know, people are having a good time, and they're smart, witty people, and yeah, it's awesome. It's kind of a combination of a roast with a lot of audience participation and an interview. So it's just so good. Having trouble keeping this lit. This has some latakia in it, so with all the moisture in the air, I'm sure, it's just having a little bit of trouble. Plus, I'm talking too much. Imagine that. So I tried making a video atop White Pass yesterday in the brilliant sunshine, but it was a little windy, and this my video setup here is so incredibly minimal that it's not a phone. The quality of a phone, although phones have gotten much better. Honestly, I could do it on a phone probably, but I'd rather do it the way I do it. So I just use a little Canon, their cheapest, smallest crop sensor, interchangeable lens body, which is an M100 for me, now that it's an M200. But it doesn't have a microphone jack, and that's kind of key. Next camera I get, I will do a microphone jack. Note to self. So, that's the thing about a pipe instead of a cigar, is you can choose a tobacco, and then you have the pipe selection too. So it's just a sort of a richer experience. And of course, people say, well, it's so much cheaper to smoke a pipe than to buy cigars. And undoubtedly that's true, especially in a state like Washington where taxation is high. So, yeah, I got a couple of these. A smooth one. This is the kind of rough finish. At Chicago, at Ivan Reese, maybe 3 years ago, when I was there for the Chicago Land Show, we were downtown and stopped at Ivan Reese at the store. And, it's funny how you see a pipe. There's like thousands of pipes on the wall, and you're going, yeah, whatever. Those are very nice, but, And then you see one and you go, oh, aren't you interesting? So, that was kind of my treat for the pipe show. Usually I pick up some tobacco. They have the pipe show, if it ever comes back, hopefully it will, next year. It's out in the burbs, and so it's not in the city of Chicago. So the taxation is way less. And so the tobacco prices are way less out there versus buying at the store. So it's a place to kind of stock up on tobacco. For some people, that Chicago or Illinois might be more expensive than their own state, But for me, Washington, it's like sin tax. It's a sin tax. It's a sin. You're smoking. So, okay, whatever. The price we pay to live on the left coast. This is great sleeping weather. The cat agrees. She's been asleep on the couch all day long. So she went out for a little while and was like, "What is this?" Yeah. Came back, right back in. But anyway, I made that little video yesterday, atop White Pass, and the wind noise was such, you couldn't even hear me talk. Imagine that. So it was a toss. It's okay. Yeah, see, now it's getting a little lighter. It was like twilight earlier. The clouds were so thick. That's unusual for us. The bike ran great. One tank I fueled up in near Yakima. Came over White Pass, fueled up again in Morton. And that bike's easy to fuel to the same level each time. I showed 68 miles per gallon. And I wasn't trying to ride calmly or sanely or anything. I mean, I kind of ride like a little old man anyway, probably. But I thought 68 miles per gallon was pretty darn good. Yeah. Of course, it hardly matters with gas being as cheap as it is. I mean, it's starting to go up a little bit, but gosh, it's still super cheap. It was very interesting over there. The majority of people were not wearing face masks. So normally, you know, I made those kind of crazy blue shop towel face masks with the underwear waistband. And so I made like 5 of those. And it's poor craftsmanship, but, you know, they work. And I've got this thing that kind of keeps a good seal from happening no matter what mask I would wear. But every time I go into a public indoor space, I wear a face mask. I just figure it's neighborly. You know, there are people who are in there who are fearful and maybe at high risk. Maybe they're older, have comorbidities. So, you know, I mean, it's not to protect me. It's not going to do that. I mean, but it's just designed to give them a little peace of mind and prevent my spewing as I talk or whatever from, it just gets caught in the mask. So that's all it does. I do it. I just think it's a good thing to do. It's a neighborly thing to do. I know it's been politicized. Some people are doing it because they're opposed to the whole idea of it. They don't believe any of it's true, etc. Okay, whatever. But yeah, I just do it. So. But a lot of people over there do not. It's conservative, you know. It's a farming-based community. But interestingly, that county, Yakima County, is, I think, the #1 rural county in the country for being affected by coronavirus. You know, number of cases, number of people who have died. You know, it's like, it's pretty serious stuff. There's a lot of farm workers over there that keep the economy rolling. You know, I mean, all those orchards, the hop fields, they all require massive labor inputs throughout the summer, but especially at harvest time. And so there are a lot of farm workers over there, and you know, they live in close quarters. They're outside working when they work, but in the packing plants and stuff, it's close quarters. So I guess it's not a surprise that they have, you know, really high rates of infection over there. So, anyways, interesting. You know, it's so different. West of the Cascades here, it's kind of like California. You know, it's very liberal. It's very West Coast. But east of the mountains, it's something else. It's it's a conservative place. Oh, the heat felt so good. That sunshine. Oh, I got a little sunburn on my shoulders and my arms. It's just like, feels so good. Yeah, this makes for a nice long smoke. Chacom King Size. And you know, I don't think I've ever seen one of these. I use a rubber softy bit on this because it's such a weird shaped, flaring, bent bit that my usual vinyl tubing just doesn't work. So So anyway, it was good to see friends and share some real analog time with them. You know, just visiting, catching up, sharing experiences, sharing opinions. It's so nourishing. And honestly, with this lockdown, I think are already, a lot of people get their social friends experience from work. And if they're working from home or have been, like me, furloughed, you just don't get that. And so I've kept in touch, texting and emailing and even phone calling with some of my coworkers. But the real face-to-face stuff is the most nourishing. So you have to make sure that still happens, right? And friendships require care and feeding and maintenance. So it's a two-way street. Both sides of that friendship have to do that. So it's important. It's important to do it. So I encourage everybody to please do that.